Civil Services Prelims exam. This term prelims is associated with anxiety, fear and uncertainty to most of the aspirants. Despite the fact that they have prepared for the whole year for this exam with dedication and commitment. And these fears, these anxieties, they keep on increasing when the exam is coming near. In fact, there are many students whose preparation is wonderful. They can easily clear the exam, but they fail this exam because of these factors. So I'll share with you few tips. If you remember them and apply them, then you can clear the exam very easily. In fact, they are commonsensical, but we tend to forget them. So let me share with you. Number one, out of all the three stages, prelims, mains and interview, this is the easiest stage because the answers are given to the question and there are statements which sounds confusing, but if you read them properly, they will guide you to the answer. So if a student is preparing honestly for this exam, then this is the most easiest part of it. Remember this, that you are prepared, well prepared for this exam. You can clear it easily. Don't worry about it. That is one. Second is, this exam is not a memory based exam. This is an understanding based exam. This prelims exam is to check your understanding. There are very few questions which are factual in nature, and believe me, if you have studied well, you don't have to mug up things, because facts, when they come in front of you as options, you remember them, you can recall them. Our mind has that capacity. So at the last moment, if you have not revised few notes, or if some part of a syllabus you are not able to cover properly, don't worry about it. If you think that remembering more and more facts will make you clear this exam, no, it won't. It is about the understanding. So just keep in mind that when you will go to the exam and read the questions, focus on solving the questions with your understanding rather than trying to find their answers in your books or notes. Try to imagine where I have read it, where I have seen it, in which test series, in which notes, in which coaching, in which class. Forget about that. You and your question paper. Read the question and have confidence on your preparation, your intelligence, and solve the answer. That is 2. Third is about the approach, approaching the questions. So there are two ways. One is, when somebody approaches the question to find what is the answer, and another approach is, somebody approaches the question with an attitude to find what should be the answer. So what is the answer and what should be the answer? Now the approach in prelims should be, always when you are reading the question, you should be thinking what should be the answer. Out of the options, out of the statements, what should be the logical answer to the whole question which is given. I'll tell you why. When we start thinking, or when we approach something with an attitude that what is the answer, it triggers the memory part of our brain. We try to find it in the memory. We look for the facts, where I have studied it, where I have seen this. But when you approach a question with the attitude that what should be the answer, then it triggers the analytical aspect of your brain, analytical faculty of your brain. Your brain tries to analyze the question given in your front, and it tries to find the answer right there. And during this process, it uses all the memory and information which is there. So it is the way you are approaching it. Believe me, this is the most important thing which works in prelims. Go with the attitude that the question will come and you will find what should be the answer. Out of the options A, B, C and D, what should be the best answer, most suited answer, right? So this is the third thing. If you remember all those things and go to your exam, calmly sit in the exam, look at the questions, and do not panic at all, because the cutoff is around 50%. It is always around 100, 102, 98, 103, maybe 101, like this only. So it is 50%. Your preparation is wonderful, you can clear it. A very small tip I would also like to share, just how to mark your questions and revise your paper, make sure that you don't forget. For example, this is the question paper, a sample question. Now what you should be doing, generally there should be once you should attend the question, and then there should be one revision or maybe 2 revisions if possible for you. So for this, what should be done? There are 3 kind of questions. You should categorize your questions in 3 parts, 3 kinds. One is the questions which you know for sure, you are certain about. The another second one is the questions based on those concepts which you know the concepts, but you are not sure about the situation given here and you need to think. And third, there are concepts or maybe facts about which you are not aware, they are not under your radar, you don't know about them. So for the first kind of questions about which you are sure, for example this question you are sure about it, so what you need to do is mark it like this, and let us say its answer is B, then mark the answer clearly and also bubble it. The second is, let us say this question comes under the category which you know the concept but you are not sure about the answer, mark it like this, and whatever answer comes to you in the first reading of the question, let us say you think that according to you it should be A should be the answer, that mark it here, but don't mark it in your OMR sheet. And let us say this is the question which you do not know about it, then clearly cross it. Now what you do, so for the others also you can say, let us say this is also which you are doubtful, what you do in the first go, mark your OMR sheet for these questions, and then in the revision, when you are coming for the revision, do not read these questions, save your time, don't read these questions, focus on these questions, because these are the areas where you will, if you will think, you will find some answer. And in case you are doubtful, one can go with the first choice which you marked in the first go. That is the risk part, but that is the best way that your answer could be correct. So summing it up, it is the most easiest part, you are ready for it, not a memory based exam, understanding based exam. So if something is left, don't panic about it and try to find what should be the answer. Your attitude should be what should be the answer, and think openly. Use all your common sense, use all your awareness, whatever you have gathered through your exam, through your preparation or through your education. There are many questions which you can solve based on your common sense and your knowledge which you have gathered right from the beginning. So deal with it this way, you will clear this exam easily, do not worry. All the best. Thank you so much.